It's a BHAMBRA here for PSB Sports. I'm at the David Haye versus Tony Bellew final weigh-in here today at the O2 Arena. I bumped into Sky Sports analyst. The knowledge is back on PSB Sports. Spencer Fearon, how you doing, Spence?
Man, always good to be on PSB Sports. Pav, how you doing, man? Wow, look at that. That poster's a bad poster, right?
Looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just tomorrow's fight night, so it's just really, really interesting, man.
First of all, Spencer, what do you make of the weights of both fighters? Say a lot of people were expecting David to come into his cruiserweight days, and the weight he was at.
Why should he? He hasn't been in his cruiserweight days for nearly a decade. So why would you do that?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
you just come in where you're comfortable. Him coming in at that weight, that's going to be him at his comfortable weight. So I think that's cool.
Also, Tony Bellew was around 205, 206 pounds. He's going to be clearly the lighter man ahead of tomorrow night. What do you make of that, Spencer?
No, Tony Bellew walks around way heavier than that. So, I mean, Tony Bellew walks around 16 stone plus. So, to see Tony Bellew at that weight, that's no surprise to me neither. He had to train to get down to there. But what will happen is Tony Bellew will be comfortable at that weight. He will be comfortable. Both of them will be comfortable. I think the more comfortable it will be actually Tony Bellew.
Okay, and in terms of the press conference yesterday, it was a lot calmer in comparison to the press conference on Monday, because a lot of people were saying that reality is now setting in for both fighters. They're aware of the task at hand, Spencer.
100%. You know what I mean? You can only badmouth for too long until you sit there chat. Let's finish with the animosities, and let's just get down to fighting. And I just think both guys think that themselves, and we have to look forward to tomorrow night and how tomorrow night progresses.
In your opinion, Spencer, if you had to break down and analyse the fight from your perspective, what are some of the factors that you believe that are going to define tomorrow night?
I would say to Tony Bellew to actually bring it to David Haye, and people think, what are you talking about? Bring it to him. You know what I mean? Bring it to him, but he's got to bring it to him scientifically. And if you know anything about Tony Bellew, he's a man that watches a lot of boxing, studies a lot of boxing, knows how to break angles and stuff, and not wear his heart on the sleeve this time. Sometimes he does wear his heart on the sleeve. This time to really be clever. And he has to box clever for the first 2 rounds, but land hard on David Haye to let David Haye know that he's here and you're in for a fight.
David, it's interesting you say that, because David Haye's been saying all week that the worst thing Tony Bellew should do is to come and try and put it on me early and actually stand in front of me.
No. Well, David Haye's saying that, right? But we have to remember, David Haye hasn't been in a competitive fight for 5 years. You know what I mean? When Derek Chisora was his last competitive fight. So therefore, I'm not being fooled to think, oh my God, you can't. No, your last competitive fight was him. So therefore, you're now in there with a man that is active. You got a lot of cobwebs in there. Those 2 fights that you had, you can't judge nothing from there. But what we can judge is that, what has David Haye done was new. David Haye hits guys, knocks them out. He's always done this since he's been a little amateur child. He's always done this. So I wouldn't expect anything different from tomorrow. If David Haye catches Tony Bellew, he'll knock him out. But what I'm trying to say is this: if Tony Bellew lands on David Haye, David Haye's going to know that someone's landed on you, and somebody's going to be landing on you who's got an engine, a fluidity of an engine, who hasn't got cobwebs in. David Haye's got cobwebs.
That's it. That's the main thing a lot of people were saying. A lot of people were saying that, although David Haye's saying this is the Haymaker 2.0, fair enough, we haven't seen it. But at the end of the day, even Eddie Hearn said Tony Bellew's been fresh, won a world title, defended it. He's been a lot more active, and surely that can only put him in a good position.
Good stead, but the only thing that would scare me is sometimes with Tony, he wears his heart on the sleeve, and when you can punch, you're in punching range to get caught back by a shot yourself.
Yeah.
But if he's 100% focused, you never know what could happen, and it's really, really good odds. It's like 14-1. Tony Bellew gets knocked down, gets up to win. That's good odds, right? Because there's a possibility, because we don't know if he can survive the first 3, right? And I'm not saying survive be a punk and run away. No, try and land some of your own blows. Try and throw your jab. Try and take away David Haye's jab, because people are kind of banking on the fact that David Haye hasn't got a right hand anymore. But you never know, right? And then we'll see what's going to happen.
Additionally, Spencer, what is usually the mindset of a fighter from weighing and it's such a big fight on Sky Box Office from now up until fight night? Are they relaxing? Are they going through pad work?
Everybody's different. So you know what I mean. It's like, how long is a piece of string? We don't know how either I'm going to be taking it. But I know both men personally. So as I know both men personally, I would believe that they'll just be chilling.
Yeah.
Both of them will be chilling. Not overly relaxing, but always in the back of your mind, you know what, I'm going to try and smash someone to bits tomorrow, and I think that's what we're going to see tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Do not miss it, guys. Hey, Bellew, live on Sky
Make
Box
sure,
Office.
live on Sky Boxing, make sure that you guys buy the fight. If you guys are betting, make sure you bet safe. Some big things, they're sponsoring the fight, so I mean they're sponsoring me right now as well, so I got to big them up. You know what I mean? And keep it hashtag Toto, ringside Toto on Sky Sports. Peace, two fingers, I'm out. Keep doing what you're doing, Piff.
Hashtag PSB Sports. We're out of here.